Let's talk about casting. I really like the cast in this movie.
Thanks.
One of the gems and revelations, and I'm not sure if some of you also noticed it or felt it, was Matt O'Leary.
He plays Marcus.
He plays Marcus.
The redheaded drug addict.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I saw him, his timing was almost impeccable on a lot of the humorous lines. And there was a close-up of him when he started performing with POI. There were shades of Kurt Cobain in him with his hair, and him singing. And I kept on saying to myself, this guy could play Kurt Cobain, like, in a movie right off the bat.
Sure.
Where did you find him, and how was the relationship between director and actor with him?
Well, first of all, in the book, the character's name is Kurt. And it's set in New York, but it was cost prohibitive for us to shoot in New York. So we moved it to Seattle, and the character of the name Kurt, who's that guy in Seattle, would have been tragic. So we changed his name very early on in the process. He came in and auditioned, and I love actors. I love acting. I've spent my whole life doing it. And I saw in him what I love most about me. Or the potential of me. Which is this willingness and this energy and this love and passion for acting. And he has that. And he's unbelievably talented. He's effortlessly brilliant. I am not that. He is that. And it was a thing where I just told the story that I sent him the lyrics to Fat Kid's Revenge, which is the two boys in the room playing the music. Fat Kid's Revenge. And he, an hour later, he sent me the song that's in the movie that he wrote the music to.
You're kidding me.
No. He's that guy. They went off and practiced that, and they're like, do you want me to show you? I'm like, no, we're just going to shoot it. All the music's live. So nothing's dubbed. Everything they did live in the moment.
How many takes what was the average of takes as a director that you were giving these guys? A lot of people just work with one. A lot of, David Fincher works with 100. What was your average?
Sure. Well, we are independent film. We shot in 23 days for $750,000. So we are not we do not have the luxury of takes.
Right.
We got coverage. Look, there are moments in the movie where we had more opportunities than less. Mm-hmm. At some point, look, I'm a first-time director. I had a huge learning curve. So some days were better than others. At some point, Rick Rosenthal, who's the producer of the movie, is also my mentor. I learned more from him in the process of making this movie than I ever would have learned at any school. At some point, he was like, just change it up. Change your takes up. Give them 1, 2.
You worked with Alexander Payne in The Descendants.
Mm-hmm.
And now Clint Eastwood in Trouble with Curve.
Clint did not direct that.
He did not direct that.
No. Rob Lorenz did.
But nevertheless, he's one of the legendary great directors.
Huge, yeah.
I mean, were you talking to Clint or Alexander at any point and asking them questions, just trying to find wisdom, for maybe your next movie or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, look, I liken it a little to being a parent. You can ask questions about being a parent, but when you have a kid, all of a sudden shit kicks in.
Right.
And you figure it out real quick.
Intuition, right.
Yeah, and look, the man I am, the actor I am, defines the director I am. And I've been on enough sets to understand the person I wanted to be. And look, me being in that situation was not overwhelming in any stretch of the imagination. I was ready. I was 40 years old when, 41 when I did it, and I was, I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin. And so being in that environment, being the quarterback in that situation, came very easily. And look, my idea is, I believe in inspiring greatness out of artists. And that goes from the DP to the wardrobe, head of wardrobe. I mean, if you can give somebody what you believe you want and give them the power to make it better, it's a pretty powerful thing. And I like doing that. And I think we had great success. And we took risks in a lot of people to be keys.
Right.
Because I believe in that, the energy and exuberance of youth. is a really powerful thing. And and you give somebody ownership of what they're doing, it was really successful.
One of the more memorable scenes in the movie, which I was not expecting, and it happened, was the hurling scene.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You had described this scene as the epic scene of the movie in terms of, I guess, the way you shot it. Could you talk to us a little bit about how you shot that hurling scene? Because it was like, it seems there was a lot of chaos happening at that moment. There was a lot of close-ups.
By chaos, you mean puke. Normally you shoot that scene from the side or the back so that you can put a device in, or you put CG, or a mouthful of puke. Those are like the 4 ways you do that.
What was the puke? But I've always wanted to ask that question. When someone pukes in a movie, what exactly is it?
It's disgusting. I will say that Bill Bowes, who was our special effects, because we had a lot of, for a $750,000 movie, we do a lot. We're underwater, we smash a kid in a bus. So that, that gag is a physical gag with the blood exploding all over in the opening sequence.
Right.
Him cutting the stomach. There's a lot of things that we did that were physical gags. And Bill Bowes, who's in Portland and works out of Seattle, is over our pay grade by a mile. Mm-hmm. And he found, and this is another example, I think, of you giving somebody the creative freedom. He wanted to do this gag. He was like, I want to do a prosthetic. So what we did is we did a cast of Jacob's face, and then we built this prosthetic for his jowls. And we ran tubing up because the tubing's micro-thin tubing. And he's like, I've always wanted to do this, but there was never thin enough tubing. But he has this tubing that was like, you couldn't discern an edge. So he runs that up through the prosthetic from the back, and 2 tubes come out. And as you watch the movie again and again and again on VOD, you'll see like there's little beats that come out where the puke ejects from. And I will say that I had cut it more realistic. I'd cut it real. And my mentor and the producer of the film, Rick Rosenthal, was like, you need to go further.